Hey there. Taking a quick break because I figured it was raining and I might as well get a video in. Have you ever thought about the difference between having sight and having vision? You know, there is a huge difference between the two. Sight is actually being able to see, with your eyes. Sight is, being able to literally see whatever is in front of you or objects and things like that with your eyes. Vision actually includes more of your thought processes or foresight, like vision is like being able to see like into the future, like so to speak, like having vision for maybe a company that you want to have, like if you wanted to start up your own business or something like that. People will say my vision for the company is, or I have a vision for the company. Or sometimes when people have had like dreams or whatever, they'll call them visions, right? Because maybe it's something that would happen in the future, and you've heard of that in the Bible, like when people have prophetic visions, right? But a lot of times people do use the word interchangeably, but of course they are actually two very different words, right? You can have sight and you don't have vision. So you have, let's say you work at a job or you work somewhere, and in a particular department, and if the department is somewhat failing, or if they are losing customers or things like that, right? Sales are dropping or something like that in that particular department, they will try to find somebody who has vision, how to take that company or that department of the company from 0 to hero, right? It's like you have to have vision. Also, people a lot of times will say when they have vision, it's like you're able to see with your mind's eye, right? When you're able to see in your mind's eye and kind of depict what you like, what you want, or what you think your life should look like, or that business, that job, or that family, maybe your garden, if you're trying to plant a garden, and you are envisioning, or you have vision for when it's all bloomed and everything is starting to pop out, right? Okay, so obviously vision is a little bit more forward thinking. It requires maybe even a little bit of dreaming. Okay, like and vision it takes a little bit more meditation, right, to have a vision. And a lot of times people will, for companies or for jobs, they write a mission statement, right? A mission statement is part of the vision for that company. And so a lot of times when you think about it and you meditate on that, have you ever thought about what is your vision for even just your life? Like just for your family life or for your business life, or whatever. It's literally like planning out goals, right? But when you have a vision and kind of like what you see yourself doing maybe in the next 5 years or 10 years, you know how they say people have 1-year plans, 5-year plans. Okay, but having that vision versus just seeing. So it's kind of like if I do go to the car lot and I find a car that I like and I see it, I'm like, I like that car, right? Vision would be, okay, I'm gonna plan out XYZ paycheck or work or whatever so that I could get that car, right? And it's called vision. Like it's like now I have vision to see how I get a pathway to be able to get to that car, right? And so that's important to be able to know the difference, to meditate on that, to even think about it, and to apply it, in your life, okay, like towards your life. Let's see what AI says. Let's see what Google says, okay? I had pulled it up earlier. Okay, let's see. I'm going to just read it, okay? It says, in a metaphorical sense, sight refers to the ability to perceive the world with eyes, while vision encompasses a broader concept of understanding, interpretation, and foresight. Sight is about what you can physically see, while vision is about what you can understand and imagine. That's right. You have to have an imagination. This is why I always say, I do not want any dream snatchers, dream killers, imaginary killers, people like that who just want to be negative when you're over here trying to, envision a different life for yourself, right? I mean, it does require a little bit of imagination, and it does require your brain. It says, here's a more detailed breakdown. Sight is literal. The ability to see with the eyes. Metaphorical can refer to having a clear understanding or perceptive on something or seeing the obvious. Okay, limited focuses on what is directly in front of you or the present. So we're talking about sight. So an example, he lost his sight, but not his vision. Okay, so vision literally means the entire process of seeing, including the brain's interpreting visual information. And then metaphorically, it encompasses a broader concept like imagination, creativity, understanding, interpretation of the world, foresight into seeing into the future, having a clear purpose or direction in life. Okay, very good. Broader, and I'm reading these subheadings. Okay, it says broader, extends beyond what is immediately visible and includes understanding, meaning, making, and future planning. Example, he has a clear vision for the future of his company. I actually didn't read this. I had typed it in and put it down, so that's exactly it, right? That's what it reminded me of too, right? You have to have a vision for your life or for your business, for your job. It's just important to at least take some time to think about what your vision is, so that way you have a direction to go. Okay. Let's see. In essence, sight is about what your eyes can physically see. Vision is about your mind and what your mind can perceive, imagine, and understand based on your senses, including your sight. That's very good. So it says example is he has great eyesight, but he lacks vision, meaning he can see clearly, but doesn't understand the situation or have a plan. Okay. So anyway, I think that this is all very good information because, again, when let's say you have a goal, a particular goal, or you're trying to open up a company or start a business, or you started a new job, or if you are if you are the head of a department, or you've been moved into a department specifically to, spice things up or get sales back up or whatnot, you have to have a vision, right? You have to actually have a vision, a goal, and you need to be able to break that down, and you need to be able to see it in your mind's eye, right? Because when you can see it in your mind's eye and you actually, it's like we always learn when I learned this in Mary Kay. I learned this many years ago, but now, of course, I think everybody knows these types of things because it's all online and stuff like that. But when you're manifesting anything, right, and you're goal setting, what do they say? I learned in Mary Kay, see it, say it, spell it. No, see it, say it, spell it, do it. Anyway, it was like you got to be able to see it visually. So it was like if you wanted, let's say we wanted the pink Cadillac, right? We would put a picture of the pink Cadillac in front of us. And then we would say it in an affirmation form, that pink Cadillac is mine. I'm going to be driving that pink Cadillac pretty soon, right? And then, let's see, that would say it. And then, let's see it, say it, do it. So then, of course, it was the plan. So it was the vision, right? And that's what we did in Mary Kay. We literally had to break down the steps and what we had to do to get to that Cadillac, right? So that's kind of, basically how manifestation works, right? You have to see it in your mind first and actually even believe that it's possible. And your mind, even if sometimes you visualize things, right, and you do create a vision, what's crazy is sometimes without even realizing it, or maybe even having a strong belief that you can actually do it, your subconscious, or I should say your unconscious, you unconsciously start to work in that direction. So that it's like literally you will actually manifest just by envisioning in your brain, because your brain doesn't know the difference between real or not. So when you see it and you're envisioning what your vision is, your brain just assumes it's real. And so what happens is that it's like your reality starts to match that. It's just kind of how it works, right? So anyway, I just thought that was a very interesting concept. It's the same thing in relationships, right? If you have a vision, a particular vision for your relationship, or kind of what you want, without getting, overly crazy about who the other person should be as far as, all these kinds of details and whatnot, but it does help to have a vision. Like I would like to have a family, or I would like to have 3 kids, 2 kids, 1 kid, whatever, and then also what the family will look like, what the energy of the family, your vibe of your family, how does that feel? Do you want a warm, inviting, loving, open-hearted type of family where anybody is invited to come on over and we share everything? Or do you want the kind of vibe or energy in your house where it's negative, or it's very toxic, it's a lot of yelling, or everybody hoards stuff, nobody wants to share nothing, it's a lot of screaming, it's a hot mess? Okay, it's good to think about these things, because when we have a vision for our family, as you're building your family, or if you're looking for your significant other, especially if you are, hoping to be with someone who wants to start a business, or a particular type of business, or if you, like if you're wanting to be with another entrepreneur like myself, right? Then it's good to have a vision, and that way you can kind of recognize that person when they are presented in front of you, right? Because it's like you need to have a little bit of vision. And again, once you start visualizing that at all, like what will happen is the reality will start to match that, and that can be a real blessing. It's a real blessing, right? We all are looking for ways to manifest positive things into our life, people, right? Jobs, places, family, all of that, makes your world very fulfilling, right? Anyway, that's it for this one. Bye.